Oh, everybody look at me because I'm fat. I sit on my fat ass and ate food every day.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're going to be meeting with a guy who is 560 pounds and claims that he is going to be biking across the country in order to gain back the love of his wife who wants to leave him, and also to just get healthy, obviously. But as we're soon going to see, he has not been holding up his end of the bargain here and has gained a lot of money from donations in order to, make this happen, because it's obviously not cheap, but he is just really not doing it and full of excuses, and really some of his excuses are hilarious, so keep watching till the very end, because this is one of the more ridiculous guests I've seen in recent memory.
Money will be used for camping, food, supplies, travel, medical, internet, repair, etc.
So right now, Dr. Phil's just reading off this statement that he has on his website that explains his goal. Number one is to win back the love of his wife, like I was saying, and number two is to get healthy and have this accomplishment of biking across the country. I don't want to write this guy off. That is huge for him. Like, that is a life-changing event. But knowing people like this, including me, who are overweight, it's really easy to make a lot of excuses for yourself, and you'll see this is this guy's problem. He just has a total victim mentality, and he thinks everyone's ganging up on him, and he's not truthful when it comes to this stuff. He's been lying, and we'll soon see just how much he's been making up about this whole biking trip.
Good. I didn't ride. I didn't really train like that. I rode exercises with the bike a little bit, and I took one test ride about a week before the trip and made it about 5 miles before I crapped out.
So first off, this guy's training for this cross-country biking sesh that he's hoping to have that's going to take multiple months is a 5-mile bike ride. That's about as far as he could go before he got pooped out, in his own words. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like really not preparing enough and kind of just hoping that you're going to make this happen. Look, dude, it's already hard enough to do that for a healthy person, let alone when you are over 560 pounds. I'm surprised that the bike can even support you at that weight, to be honest. Like, that has to be a pretty expensive bike he's using, and it's going to be very challenging for him to make it across the country. I don't think he realized that, though, or maybe he just has this blind optimism.
You thought training for a 3,000-mile journey was cheating?
Yeah, because I wanted to write the book about the whole experience.
So he's also writing a book about this experience, and in his opinion, it was taken away from how legit this accomplishment would have been because he didn't train. Look, I think everyone in the world thinks you're an idiot because of this. Obviously, you're gonna need to train if you're riding over 3,000 miles. But I get that he wanted to be genuine, I guess. But if you're really doing like 5 miles a day, that is really going to take a long time, my dude. Like, you got to plan this out a little bit better, or you should have started a better goal, like maybe I'll bike across my state first and see how that goes, because I don't even think he's done that really.
This is when donations start pouring in,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So you got $20,000 via the GoFundMe and Indiegogo accounts?
All right, here's where things start to get really muddy, because this guy, like I said, is not holding up his end of the bargain, which would be not that important if this was just a personal goal of his and he was letting himself down. I'm sure he's done that multiple times, but no, he's letting multiple people down, because he has received over $20,000 via GoFundMe and various things. People have given him a free bike and like free labor on his bike because it keeps breaking, obviously. He even got $500 worth of beef jerky, which he claims he gave most of it away. I doubt that. I bet you he went through that within a week or so. Yo, real quick before we move on, guys, do me a big favor. My analytics show that only 39% of you watching are actually subscribed. I don't know what's up with that, but if you guys are already watching the videos every day, you might as well join the Grim Squad officially, so hit that subscribe button.
You say you're riding usually 6-7 hours a day.
I'm on the road 6 or 7, not necessarily pedaling the whole day because I take a lot of breaks. I mean, because I can't help it.
So he claims he's on the road for 6 to 7 hours a day. He's working pretty much a full-time job of biking at this point, in his own words. So why hasn't he made more progress? He has covered about a state, and that's it. And he claims that he's ridden about 5 miles a day, which if you're doing an average kind of, light pace on a bike, that should take no more than 30 to 45 minutes. And he's claiming that that takes him the entire day to do.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Pop-Tarts and
Pop-Tarts are every once in a while. Dunkin' Donuts is just coffee and bananas, but...
And you notice how he tries to downplay this. I mean, I've watched a lot of my 600-pound life, and I know throughout my personal life as well, when I lie to myself about my weight and what's going on, it's just a lot easier to do, and that's what he's doing. He's hiding from these facts of how lazy he is, and he's acting like he's really on this nice diet, even though it really is not. He starts his day off with just a big bottle of Coca-Cola, eats Dunkin' Donuts all day, and he claims that's just coffee and bananas, but I doubt that. If you were just getting coffee and bananas, you could go and get that at your home, or go and get that at literally any other place besides Dunkin' Donuts. So he's hoping in a few months to get all the way over to California from where he started, and the red areas are the states in which he actually has ridden his bike. I don't know what this gap is and how he just drove down the coast on the East Coast and was like, hey, I covered at least that much distance and I technically had my bike with me in my car. As you can see, he's really not putting his all into it. In fact, he has a lot of naysayers that think he is a scammer, so he's also just hunkered down completely in Florida for multiple months at this point, and he claims it's because he has a family member that was dying and he had to go see them, and then of course his mom was needing help because she broke her arm while down there. A lot of excuses, but basically he's given up and is now just living in a hotel for the past few months in Florida, spending this various thousands of dollars that he's gotten donated to him on food probably, and just being an absolute loser, not doing a single thing that he claimed he was going to do, which is disappointing because this was such a massive goal, but clearly he just did not plan well enough for it and really was not able to grasp just how difficult of a task this was.
And what do you think he's falling short on?
I think he's fallen short on writing. I think he's fallen short on saying he's going to camp and then you see him in a hotel for a month.
And this is his old best friend who actually has not been in contact with him because he did not agree with how much he has been scamming people pretty much with this whole operation. He knows deep down that his friend is not going to have the power within himself to complete this, and he's been lying or at least fabricating a lot of the facts about this ride that he's been doing. Most of the time spent riding, he's probably sitting in a hotel room eating food, and he really is not putting down the miles that he needs to do, even the bare minimum, to make this a reality. Yet he's egging people on, continuing to get money and donations from them where they're thinking that he's actually doing this noble thing.
I think Eric knows exactly what he's doing.
Trying to get across the country. I know exactly what I'm doing.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm here to bike, okay? So whether or not it takes me 7 hours to go 4 miles or not, I'm still putting in the work. And you're back there in the audience laughing at me, but you don't get it, all right? I'm a freaking pro bike rider, and I'm gonna make it across the country, let alone the fact that I've been stuck in Florida for 3 months. I'm gonna make it happen.
When I first began to research his story, it seemed to me that he was appallingly unprepared.
So yeah, from the get-go, this guy has not put in the work or the preparation needed to have something this big. And he really just thought he'd go on the internet, make this blog post about a 560-pound man riding across the country, and then it would just happen. But it doesn't. This is so much grueling work ahead of him, and he realizes that, yet he's not putting in the work. So therefore, in my opinion, he is a straight-up scammer. And he's taking these people's money who think that they are donating to his cause and helping this man better his life, but really they're just funding him eating himself to death.
And he's been in Florida 3 months, by the way.
I have no idea.
Yes,
I left towards there in October.
What do you mean you have no idea?
And then he gets pressed on the fact that he's actually been in Florida for 3 months now, and he doesn't remember because it's kind of hard to keep track when you're on the road, Dr. Phil. You don't know that, but when you're putting in as many miles as him, you know, not so much thought process is going into what month it is or how much time has passed, all right? He's just worried about the road and getting those pedals moving. So here's something gold that they pulled up that he actually posted during his stay in Florida for the past few months. This man has the balls to be posting restaurant reviews on Yelp. In his own words, he said, "I had their poo-poo platter," which, by the way, don't name a dish that at a restaurant. I have no idea what restaurant this is, but I have a bone to pick with you. Take that off your freaking menu, please. But he had that, wings, mozzarella sticks, boneless wings, which he just had to have both variation of wings, I guess, in one meal, and potato skins. And then for his main dish, because those were all just appetizers, he had a Kobe beef burger for the first time, and for dessert he had a cappuccino and a lemon berry mascarpone cake. It was fire, let me tell ya. I'm sure it was, but let's hear him explain himself over why he just announced to the internet that he ate 8,000 calories in a single dinner while he's supposedly biking across the country.
Because, I mean, that's kind of what you're doing when you're traveling.
We're doing what?
You have to conserve your food because you're not necessarily going to get somewhere when you're riding 5 miles a day in the beginning.
You don't understand, Dr. Phil. He's actually on a very tight diet, and he spread out these 8,000 calories throughout the day. So that's fine, all right? As long as you're at least eating, 4 people's worth of food in a single day, but you're at least spreading it out. That shows that you are willing to lose the weight. So in closing, Dr. Phil brings up a map of just the area where he lives, and he jokes about the fact that he would still probably be able to see his home by the time he was 5 miles away, or he would still feel like he's in his local neighborhood. That is really not a far distance to ride your bike. And when you are acting like you are just devoted to riding across the country, you need to be putting in more work than that. But regardless, we're about to see what happened to this guy in the next video that I'm posting. Don't worry, there's going to be a part 2. He actually made a return. This was 4 years ago that he was on Dr. Phil, but he makes a comeback, and I want you guys to see if he lost the weight and was able to bike across the country or is still struggling. I'm gonna let you leave your guesses down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.